Back in the 60s, Detroit dominated, and muscle cars like the Chevy Camaro ruled the streets and the drag strips of America. But those cars fell out of favor. The Chevy Camaro is back with a vengeance. If it's power you want, well, that's no problem. Even the base V6, over 300 horsepower. Our Camaro SS, with its 6.2-liter V8, it puts down 0 to 60 times right around 5 seconds. But there's a lot more to the Camaro than just raw power. It stops as well as it goes. Braking distances are extremely short, and there's a lot of car to stop here. Handling-wise, well, the Camaro isn't our first pick for an autocross course, but as a track day car, well, it's a blast. There's plenty of grip here, the car feels secure, and when you turn the stability control off, or even when you use its competition mode, you can have a lot of fun with the car on a closed track. But as the course gets small and tight, or the road gets twisty and the speed slow down, then handling becomes somewhat more disappointing. The steering's not that responsive, and the car just feels heavy. In fact, in our avoidance maneuver, it was a lot of work to thread this big car through the tight course, but the car proved to be ultimately secure. The Camaro rides decently for a sports car. Don't get me wrong, the ride is firm, but it's not punishing. The Camaro styling is a mix of classic Camaro cues with some modern touches, but often that styling causes concessions. Take the gauges. The big fat needles, they make it hard to tell exactly the speed you're going at a glance, unless you're using the digital speedometer. That's certainly not classic. The radio, the climate controls, they look kind of cool, but it's tough to pick exactly what you want to do at a glance, especially these little tiny climate control buttons. And this power lock button, it's really hard to find in the middle of the dashboard. Finally, gauges down on the console. They're a classic Camaro design cue, but just like the old Camaros, they're way out of your line of sight. The front seats are firm and supportive, but the back seats, well, they're barely even roomy enough for small kids. The car's exterior styling with its low roof, well, it makes it hard to get into any of those seats. It's even hard to get into the trunk, because it has a high liftover and a small opening. But the biggest hassle caused by the Camaro styling is visibility. It's really hard to see out. Why? Well, there's a low windshield, a long hood with a big power bulge to look over, thick windshield pillars, really low side glass, a high rear deck, and not a very big rear window. Plus, combine the small glass area with the all-black interior of our car, and it's something like driving in a cave. So okay, the Camaro comes with a few concessions, but let's face it, most people are going to buy this car because of the power and its looks, and there it simply doesn't disappoint. Plus, you also get a car that rides and handles pretty well.